Week 9. We should talk about this briefly. Yeah, we will repeat again, but we have 4 weeks left and then we're finished, okay? If you want to continue with me, I want to do a conversation course. Same format, but focus, conversation. It will be like in between the levels, explore and evolve. So it's basically using everything you've learned in Essential, everything you've learned in Explore, and going straight to the language that you personally need. And then if you're still happy, then we can do Evolve. But Evolve is a bonus. You know, Evolve is, for me, most of the language theory is in Essential and Explore. And in Explore, I've already tried to, no, I've not tried, I'm already bringing you or leading you into conversation. And this class is no exception. This class is heavily dedicated to conversation. Si no has entendido ni una palabra, no pasa nada. ¿Ok? Simplemente estaba diciendo que después de... Estamos casi en las últimas cuatro clases. Y después de eso, pues haremos un curso de conversación, por si quieres seguir. Es para tenerlo en cuenta, okay? Okay, so in the Essential course, we saw, you didn't see it, but you know, something dedicated, a module dedicated to holistic learning. And at the end of all, like lots of the content in Essential, I gave you a little page to remind you. Okay, basically to remind you of your attitude. And so that's what I've said here in this part about holistic learning. I've said, I think there's a specific sentence where I say here, yeah, this week is not about content. It's about awakening an attitude in you. For you, especially, and you, it's not about awakening that attitude. It's reminding you of that attitude because it's an attitude that I've already talked to you about. But I have to insist. I have to stand my ground.
Sorry.
Come in.
Thank you.
How are you? Yeah? I have to stand my ground, okay? And so this class is about going after the attitude of curiosity. And this is the outline, this is the theory. Here, what I've done is I have revisited Grammaria. Okay, right at the beginning of the Essential course, I talked to you about Grammaria as a creation of mine to teach you English, but I haven't given you much integration of that because it's something I've been working on in the background. So slowly I'm incorporating it into my content. And here we have the Wonderlands, okay, which correspond to the Explore region. Okay, you have, here I explain that Grammaria, it's reminding you that you're not just learning English with me, you are traveling. Okay, we're using metaphor and we're using symbology to help you learn and to make it more fun and to make it more alive. So with Grammaria and with the system that I'm piecing together, you're seeing that English is not chaotic. And especially with the Essential course. In the Essential course, you are literally, it's association. You first discover that lots and lots of words in Spanish have direct translations into English. Some of them almost the same because of the Latin root. Then in Explore, there is a tendency to feel that it's more chaotic again. because we're looking at things that are not as easily translated. They're perhaps expressed in a different way, or the translation is not literal, or we have phrasal verbs which don't have equivalents in Spanish, or idioms which are not easily understood in Spanish. But even so, if we go back to this idea of Grammaria and that the language is a universe, Grammaria is my teaching universe, my learning universe for teaching English. Then what I've done is I've made my 3 levels correspond to 3 regions in Grammaria. So the region that corresponds to essential is the root lands, okay, because roots are raíces, okay? And the region that we're in now is the wonderlands. Does anyone understand the word wander? Have you heard? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it can be errante, divagar, yeah, andar por. So the wonderlands is where we are now, and then evolve is we go into the highlands, okay? There is actually a 4th region, which corresponds to the English for Life Club, which I have after, but we're too far away to talk about that, okay? So we're not just learning English, we are traveling through Grammaria. Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you finish, when I finish all the courses, including involved, more or less, what level of English
will you have?
Yes.
If you want to compare it to the systemic levels.
Yes.
The idea is you should have C1 English. By doing Evolve, you should have C1 English. You might not start Evolve with C1 English, but if you go through to Evolve, having fully incorporated the information. When I say incorporated, I mean embodied the learning up until that point, you can have C1. And C2 is just something to aim for with years of more time. But C1 is a very respectable language level. The thing is, those levels of English, the B1, B2, etc., they are designed from a very academic point of view. And my English teaching has a very strong focus on conversation. So up until now, we have not worked on writing. And we haven't, when I say we haven't worked on it, we haven't worked on it in depth. We haven't worked on reading in depth. And when I say reading, I mean reading comprehension in depth. And they are academic skills. And so if you want to pass the C1 exam, there is a certain level of academic experience and maturity that you have to have. And in Evolve, I do actually work more deeply in the academic experience, the reading and the writing. But you cannot get there from one day to another. I have had students who are young, like Bruno, come to me to prepare them for the C1 English because they have been raised more or less bilingual, or they have had so much English immersion, Bruno has had a lot, that their comprehension and their verbal level is really good. But some of them, it's very difficult to get them to the maturity, both academically, but also in terms of philosophical or life expression in order to pass the C1. And this is why I say C1 is a really respectable level. But also with adults, sometimes you can get to a place where your verbal English and your comprehension of English is really good, but if you haven't been through the academic system, it's harder to achieve. I don't think that that's an issue for you, but I just want you to be aware of that. So with evolve, it kind of depends on where someone comes from, how easily they can actually then go and sit the C1 exam. Yeah? Because one thing is to have great English in real life, where you can understand everything I'm saying, and you can more or less express anything you want to say in English. For me, that's C1 level. You need to be able to understand anything, and you need to be able to talk about anything. But there's another level to C1, which is that academic capability and depth. Because you, Bruno, might be able to express anything in your life, but it might not have that much depth or maturity because you're young. So C1 level also requires that maturity and analytical capability. One of the problems I have sometimes with teaching people or preparing them for high-level exams is I'll ask them a question about something, but something interesting, an essay type question. Let's examine the pros and cons of homeschooling versus sending your children into the public education system, and you might not be able to answer that. The students are there like, I've never really thought about anything like that in depth. So you have to have a certain level of articulation as well in Spanish first, because you can't achieve miracles in English that you haven't achieved in Spanish, or it's very hard. Yeah? Okay. That's answers your question? Yeah? Okay. But that's also why now I'm speaking in English. I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes I speak in Spanish, sometimes I speak in English. When I speak in Spanish, it's because I really want you to understand the lesson. And when I speak in English, it's because if you understand it, cool. If you don't understand it, cool. But what we're doing is we're working on this. We're working on training your ear. We're working on your attention. This whole story thing as well is to introduce an artificial, if you like, way of creating links and associations to of the language to other things, to symbols and to stories and to drawings and things like that. I have said that my methodology focuses on conversation, but we are training all of the dexterosities at the same time, because you're reading, yeah, and I write things in English. We have the sentences in English, because you're listening, because you should be writing at home, so you should be practicing. I know I'm not correcting you, but you always have the answers to correct yourself, yeah? And then we're working on the speaking. Okay, so this little section here is just an overview or a reminder that when you start in Grammaria, you're going through the root lands. That's essential, and that's where the foundations of English grow strong. And now you are starting a journey through the wonderlands, okay, where the language gains life through conversation and discovery. Okay, and then here we have this really cool map of the wonderlands that I created with a little bit of help from my friend ChatGPT. Okay, so you have the Academy of Abbreviations, the Verb Battleground, the Theatre of Expressions, and the Forest of False Friends. It's just a mental anchor, okay? And then that leads me into introducing you to the 4 wins of holistic learning, okay? So essential, explore, and evolve are places in Grammaria, and holistic learning is not a place, okay? It's an entity. It's not part of the geography. The Wonderlands symbolize exploration, movement, discovery, and the real practical usage of the language. And holistic learning is a deep idea, okay? It's an invisible system that connects the 4 regions. I've only mentioned 3, but there are 4, okay? It is the wind, okay? And it flows through the whole world. And it's the hidden force of Grammaria, okay? You have 4 winds of learning. Okay, so yeah, you might think that you are just moving from one place to another, from the rootlands to the wonderlands, but the experienced learners know, or they discover something important, okay? Grammaria is guided by 4 invisible winds. These winds, these winds give shape to the way every traveler learns, okay? The first wind, which I'm not actually going to speak about here, it's called the wind of association, like I talked to you before about, okay? In Essential, you are making associations. You are making links between words and other words and structures and other structures that are very, very similar, okay? But it's the second wind that we're going to talk about today, okay? Which is the wind of curiosity. This wind pushes the travelers forward. It appears when you ask questions like, how do you say that? Why does that structure function like that? The curiosity is what allows travelers to explore the language naturally. Without curiosity, the wonderlands can seem confusing. Okay, and I said that before. Explore can seem like a confusing space inside the language, but with curiosity, it can become an adventure. Okay, and it's that curiosity that I'm evoking when I ask you to invest in the idea of Grammaria as something to accompany you on your language journey. Okay. This little section talks about the third wind, which is the wind that moves us through the evolve level, but you can read about that at home. I'm just going to drink some water. Okay, so I've said that this week is not about content, it's about awaking or reminding you of the attitude of curiosity. Reminding you of something that I think should be obvious, that your learning of English is not just in here. It's not just about a classroom. In fact, you never need a classroom, in theory. No, I learned English without a classroom. My kids learn English without a classroom. Now when they have to learn English in school, it's just horrible. Okay? Poor them. So the wind of curiosity comes and it breaks that illusion that English is something that you have to associate with the classroom, that you have to associate with school, that you have to associate with something that is either imposed or boring or badly taught. So yeah, you have to remember that the real classroom is the world. Yeah, I think this is obvious. I think every student should know that. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes we need reminding of what is obvious. So English grows through our contact with life, not just from studying. So the wind of curiosity is constantly whispering or screaming, yeah, get out there and touch the language. And what does that mean? That means get out there and live. But that's something you do now in Spanish. But you need to get out and live in English. You need to find ways to get out and live in English. Why is my Spanish so good? Because I live in Spanish. Yeah, I touch the Spanish language every day. You have to do that with English. You have to create artificial opportunities, artificial contexts, artificial spaces in your life to touch English, to live English. And a holistic learning or a holistic approach teaches the student that English is alive in music, in films, in books, in conversations, in curiosity, not just studying rules. It consists in following your interest, but so does your happiness. And I'm saying this to you directly. Yeah? If you are stuck, if you are dissatisfied, follow your curiosity. It will not lead you wrong. When something calls your attention, follow it. A song that you like, a podcast that you discover, an expression that someone uses, a story that you want to understand. Curiosity turns the language into something alive, fun, and passionate, which is really what I want from you. Obviously, I want you to come here happy and you enjoy it, because you said that to me one day, that you like coming here, it's your space. That's awesome, and I want that. But I also want that to be out there too. I want your relationship with English to be something that is alive, fun, and passionate. So with curiosity, you notice new words naturally. You recognize patterns, you ask questions, and you explore ideas. So you have to look further than the lesson and ask yourself, where else can I find English today? Not just in Keely's classroom. Yeah, where else? I know that you have English around you in your work, and that's amazing. And you probably also have English in your work. And I know that you hunt for English, or you find English a lot in everything you do. I know that. So maybe what I'm telling you is not necessary, but I don't care. I'm going to tell you anyway. Because cuantos más lugares, the more places that English occupies in your life, the quicker it becomes a part of you. Studying is also living, observing, analyzing, connecting, exploring. And that is what I mean by Aprendizaje Holístico. Yeah, this holistic learning. It's this terminology that I use all the time. And maybe we don't always know what it is. I know what it is. But sometimes if I think, what's the actual definition? This is the definition. It's a big definition. So English grows in everything that awakens your curiosity. Curiosity is the motor of real learning. Talking about the theme of homeschooling versus systemic schooling, one of the arguments of homeschooling a child versus systemic schooling is that systemic schooling can kill the curiosity. Yeah? And if we kill the curiosity in children, we damage them. And then we end up with adults sometimes that have lost their curiosity, and it has to be reawakened, because it's not really lost. It's just abandoned a little bit. So, the curiosity challenge. This week, you have to try to find English in at least 3 places outside of the classroom, okay? I've just mentioned one for both of you, so you've got one freebie. A song, a scene of a series, a conversation, a short article, a curious word. Yeah, it doesn't have to be super ambitious. Yeah, it can just be like, oh, that word. Do you remember when I told you that story about the andamio? Yeah, and the mental film, yeah? That was curiosity. I was curious. What is that thing called? And when they told me the word andamio, that word actually sparked curiosity in itself because I thought it was an unusual word. And I was also curious to see how I could learn that word, how I could remember that word. So I was also curious about my own capacity. So in the Wonderlands, the travelers, you hunt out, I'm translating the word perseguir, no? You follow English, but what I want to say is you hunt for English instead of studying it. In essential, it's very study-like because you have to learn those associations, you know? You have to learn the basics of like vocabulary and things. But now it's exploration. Also because this is the time when the language becomes more personal. In essential, it's not personal. You have to know what's in essential, all of you. Everyone has to know it. It's the basics. But now, you're going to need different parts of the language, depending on who you are, depending on what you're interested in. So, I'm going to start asking questions. This page, I've given it to you in Spanish, but I've also given it to you in English, okay? And that's what we're going to look at now, okay? Curiosity, fuel for conversation. Not going to read this. We're going to jump straight to this because you can read that at home. Discovering curiosity. First question is for you, okay? Take a deep breath, no stress. What kind of videos or topics do you usually search for on YouTube or on the internet?
Usually car videos.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like tuning videos.
Like mechanics?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. And racing videos.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When you say tuning, literally like how to tune up an engine.
Yeah.
That's interesting because you don't have a car, no?
No.
And you can't drive.
I need a car.
Do you know how to drive?
Yeah.
Has your dad given you some lessons?
No.
Have you just observed?
Yeah.
So you've had no practical lessons,
No.
but you have the theory in your mind. Okay. So you're super interested in cars.
I can drive a car.
Yeah? You think you could just get in and go for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not that hard.
Well, I said this to my daughter, and I've used this analogy before. There is a difference between knowing the steps and walking the steps. Yeah? Knowing the path and walking the path. There's a difference, okay? So I'm sure you're like, okay, I know. Step number 1 is put down the clutch, put it into gear, no? Or maybe step 1 is turn on the car, no? Turn on the car, put down the clutch, go into gear, and then a little bit of gas, no? But you come off the gear gently, yeah? But just that mechanism is harder than you think for a beginner, yeah? Obviously then you have to like control the steering, and you have to look in your mirror for the back, you have to look in your side mirrors, you have to look in your blind spots, you have to make sure you don't run any old ladies down. So yeah, exciting for you. Why? Okay, we're not gonna go deeper. Okay, next, Belen. If you have a free afternoon with no obligations, what do you like to do?
I haven't got the free afternoon.
You can say, I never have free afternoons.
Never.
You could say, I haven't got many free afternoons.
Yeah. So I like to walk. I like dance.
I like dancing.
Dancing. I like do nothing.
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing.
Sustantivo de actividad con terminación ing. Casi siempre.
I like doing nothing.
Yeah. I like walking. I like dancing. I like doing nothing.
It depends because I must work a lot of. So
A lot.
A,
I must walk a lot.
a lot. So if I am tired, I prefer do nothing.
You must work a lot. You wanted to say work. Okay, let's just like focus on this word, these two words, because you're not the first one to pronounce one of them slightly incorrectly.
I said walking.
This one.
I like
Okay.
walking.
Yeah, I know, but then you said if I am tired.
Now I say you that I must work a lot.
Yeah, this is yeah,
if I
okay.
have time,
I must work a lot, or I have to work a lot.
so if I am tired, I prefer do nothing.
I prefer doing nothing.
Doing nothing, or walk slowly.
Walking slowly.
So,
Okay, pronounce these two words for me. This one.
Walking.
Yeah, walking.
Work.
Drop. This one.
Work.
Okay, this one you can exaggerate more, okay? This one is the vowel that I say is cara de asco. Work. It's Yeah, this one is or. Like the word or. You know, like red or black. So it's a different sound. So you can articulate that differently in your mouth. Or. And this one is work. Work. Okay. What topics do you enjoy listening to when other people talk about them?
I really like
Talking.
talking with people who knows a lot about
Geopolitics.
topics because
If you say topics, you have to say geopolitical.
geopolitical topics.
Yeah. Or you can just say people who know a lot about geopolitics. Yeah, you don't need to say topics. You can just say people who know a lot about geopolitics.
Yes, or people who know some topics
Related.
related about that.
Related to.
Related to that because they travel.
They have traveled.
Yeah, they have traveled a lot, so they have these
Knowledge. Okay. Cool.
And also I sang a podcast.
You listen to.
I listen podcast
To.
to.
Listen
I
to.
podcast about geopolitics.
Okay. Geopolitics. Yeah, it's a word that you have lots of syllables. Geopolitics. And this is the accent here, no? Geopolitics. Okay, cool. Eufemia. Con tranquilidad. ¿Lees libros? ¿Lees libros? ¿Cómo fue o qué fue el último libro que leíste?
No me acuerdo, estoy leyendo uno, pero no me acuerdo.
Okay.
No me acuerdo.
¿Serie de televisión? ¿Estás viendo una serie de televisión? ¿No? ¿Una película? ¿Has visto una película hace poco? Ok. ¿Qué haces con tu tiempo libre?
Bueno, salir de paseo.
Okay, so how do you say that? Okay, pasatiempo in inglés, hobby. Okay? Hobby. And you can say, me gusta. I like. Y salir de paseo is going for a walk. Okay? I know that we say walking. Yeah, you can just say walking. You can just say I like walking. Yeah, me gusta andar, me gusta caminar, I like walking. Pero un pelín más sofisticado es me gusta dar un paseo. Okay? I like going for a walk. Vamos a pronunciarlo bien, okay? I like going for a walk. Walk. W es w. W. And then el sonido es o. Hi baby. O. Okay, la L no suena. Okay? La L no suena, so you go directly to the K. So it's walk. Alargado. Walk. Walk. Okay. I'm going to jump. Okay, I'm going to jump from here to here. How did you discover your interest in cars?
Oh, I watching Fast and Furious.
Ah.
The first movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you watched
like 2
the
years
first,
ago.
yeah, and that made you interested in cars.
Yeah, I saw the cars and I say, oh, I like it. And I started learning.
It's so typical of boys. Like, so, maybe I'm wrong, but every man I know loves cars. Like, just, even if they have no reason to or no association with cars, they're like, yeah, cars. Yeah. I don't know how you say cacharrería. It's like metal work. Yeah. What? Why? I want to know why. What about cars interests you? The sound. That's very interesting. Maybe it's an energy thing. Maybe it's a masculine energy thing. Yeah. But why? What is it?
I love when you change gears.
Yeah.
And you hear like the turbo and things.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you find it exciting?
Yeah.
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 Cool. Huh?
Thank you.
What did you say? Yeah, he does. He does. Okay, what do you like most? What do you like most about going for a walk? You said you like to go for a walk in your free time.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else you said. What else did you say? What else do you like to do in your free time? Dancing.
Yeah.
And something else? One other thing?
Doing nothing.
And doing nothing. Okay. So,
Peace in my mind.
okay. Okay, that's a great answer. But all three of them, no? The walking, the dancing, and the doing nothing, all of them, they give you peace.
In general, I
Search.
peace in my mind. Relax.
If you say search, you have to say search for. Yeah?
Or
Search for. But you can also say look for.
look for.
Okay, which is a phrasal verb, which is a bit more colloquial. Yeah? Look for. You're looking for. You're looking for peace in your mind. Mental peace. And maybe emotional peace as well. Yeah? Okay. What is it about geopolitics that you find most fascinating? I listen to
a lot of topics, different topics, because I listen the podcast No es el fin del mundo.
Mm-hmm.
Is the name.
Yeah. Is it in Spanish? Is it Spanish?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in Spanish. And when in the work have something, because for example now the war of Iran, United States, something like that, Well, there are some chapters, episodes.
Yeah, you can say chapters or episodes
Or episodes that is for
that
example,
are.
that part for example, why Trump dedicate more time in this part of Iran, or why Iran have more petroleum.
Okay.
No sé cómo
Why?
se dice petróleo.
Why does? Okay. 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 I want to clean up your language a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
I know you're nervous, and so that makes language messy. It's true, but let's clean it up. Okay. One of the things that you sort of said messily was in the world. Your order is a little bit off.
Yes.
Yeah? When something happens in the world. I can't remember how you said that sentence, but you said it in a different way. You said it kind of backwards.
When
Maybe you said when happens something in the world or something like that.
yes,
Okay?
It's a problem for me in
General.
in
Yeah,
general,
that's why I'm highlighting it.
because in English I have to try the things more natural, but it's very disordered.
Yeah. So this is one thing that you can focus on, okay, in your explore phase of the language, is working on the order of your sentences, which we looked at in essential. Essential
I
is,
try to sound natural,
yeah,
but it's a problem for me to order this natural concept.
yeah. I think the best advice I can give you for that is speak more slowly. Even more slowly,
Okay.
even slower than you
I
are.
have to think a lot. My mind is not quickly than my son.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe it's the opposite.
Well, the opposite.
Yeah, your mind goes faster than your mouth. That's normal. Yeah, our minds are fast and the mechanics is not fast because we haven't practiced. If I take the piano or I take the guitar and I play something like your mind processes it, no problem. But your fingers are not going to copy it like that fast immediately. You have to okay, stop, slow down, give me the notes slowly and I will reproduce them.
For me, if I speak slowly, I think that I don't know some things, or maybe said more.
Okay, yeah, that's a separate thing though, yeah? We've talked about the yeah? And that's separate. You do have to work on that as well, okay? So continue to work on separately. You can work on it at the same time in the sense of when you are formulating your sentences and slowing down, you resist the temptation to say, One of the things I have noticed about me when I watch the videos sometimes of the classes is I say, okay, constantly. Maybe you don't notice, maybe you do, but I watch the videos and I'm like, I hate it. Like I want to kill myself. In a loving way, but you don't become conscious sometimes of ers and ums and ticks unless you listen to yourself or unless you slow down and take the time to analyze it.
When I listen, how I speak.
When I listen to
How I speak, it's very embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. Okay. Why did I say stop? because it's better to say less and say it better than to say a lot and sound messy. Okay? So, 1, it doesn't matter that you sound embarrassing. 2, it doesn't matter if you're slow. 3, it doesn't matter if you say one thing. If you say very little. Okay? It doesn't matter. Who cares? Yeah? You're learning. You're learning. You have a right. This is your right. Es tu derecho. Yeah? Your right to be embarrassing, your right to be slow, and your right to say very little. We expect too much of ourselves. You expect too much of yourself. Sometimes. Sometimes it's good to expect more of ourselves. And sometimes it's too much. Too much is always too much. Too little is always too little. We have to find this perfect place. Okay? Okay, what can we ask you, Eufemia? Why?
Why?
¿Por qué? Why do you like walking?
Working.
¿Por qué te gusta pasear? Why do you like walking?
Porque me gusta salir a caminar.
Piensa, piensa. Toda esta sección está dedicada a este problema. El problema de, la verdad es que no lo sé, no sé expresarme, nunca lo había pensado, no lo he considerado, ¿ok? Piensa, why. Solo necesito como una sensación. Why do you like walking? ¿Por qué te gusta pasear?
Porque me gusta salir de paseo porque si no me aburro en casa y...
Ok, entonces, ¿qué es lo contrario de eso? Si te aburre en casa, te entretiene.
Me detengo en ir a andar con caminar.
Ok,
Sí.
pero quiero ir más profundo. ¿Por qué te entretiene? Why is it entertaining? Porque cualquier cosa en teoría te podría entretener, ¿no? Porque entretener, a fin y a cabo, significa pues pasar el rato. Es casi matar el tiempo, ¿no? Es como, ¿ya? Gastar el tiempo. Pero no, si tienes elección, ¿no? Pues voy a pasar este rato caminando o tocando la guitarra o dibujando o hablando con mi amiga. ¿Por qué eliges? Why do you choose walking?
No te digo.
Piénsalo, voy a seguir y tienes que pensarlo. Cuando vuelvo hay que pensar qué es lo que te da, qué es lo que te aporta. ¿Ok? Piensa. Ok, Bruno. Deepening the curiosity. If you had more time, how would you explore this interest?
Going like
Do you have to
cars.
go? Yeah.
Going to like rallies and things like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
No.
Okay.
F1.
Yeah?
F1 races.
Yeah?
too.
Are there any F1 races that you know of that are accessible to you?
No. Well, if my dad buys some, no, sí sería buys
Yeah, comprar, ¿no?
some tickets like to F1 race, I will go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you talked to your dad about buying
Yeah.
tickets for an F1 race?
But I prefer rally.
Okay.
It's more like
What's the difference between rally and F1?
rally. F1 are like F1 car, obviously. And
Yeah.
rally are like street legal cars.
A what?
Street legal cars. But
Street?
legal.
Little?
Legal.
Legal?
See. Legal
Ah, okay.
cars.
Street legal
But
cars. Ah,
do
okay. Like an F1
for
car,
the-
you cannot ride on the street, no?
No.
But a rally car, you can ride on the
could,
street.
but it depends. Like the WRC, like the World Rally Championship cars, you cannot drive on the road.
Okay.
But the rally cars are like real cars, street legal cars, but tuned for the race.
Yeah. So they have
Like it's
tampered with or tuned the motor, the engine, no,
Yeah.
to make them faster.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do they do to make them faster?
More HP, horsepower,
Yeah.
and like splitters and spoilers,
Okay.
and better suspension for the roads. And es que no sé cómo.
No, you're doing amazingly well expressing yourself.
Better maneuverability for the dirty roads.
Better manual what?
Maneuverabilidad.
Ah, maybe manageability.
Sí.
It might be, or it might actually be handling.
Handling.
Better handling,
Yeah.
no? Yeah.
More aggressive handling for the cures.
Okay, yeah. And so, okay, so one of the things that you would do to explore this interest more is to go to see live driving.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself driving yourself in a sports context or in a competitive context?
Well,
You would like to?
yeah.
Yeah?
If I have the opportunity, I will.
If you have the opportunity, you will. Okay, or I want to make sure that that's what you want to say. Is it if I had the opportunity, I would, or if I have the opportunity, I will?
I will.
Yeah, that's more decided. One of them is conditional and one of them is more decided. Yeah, okay. Okay, Belén. Okay, this question might not be appropriate to your pastimes, but yeah, no, let's use this one for you, okay? What would you like to be able to explain to other people about this topic?
Oh, it's
So-
maravilloso.
Yeah, come on, sell it to us. Why?
Why?
Yeah, what is amazing about it? What is good about it? What do you want to say about it? What do you want to communicate about it? What do you want to teach about it?
Because déjame que lo piense en castellano.
Yeah, okay, slow.
Slow.
Say less if necessary.
For me, it's important because it's relaxed,
It's relaxing.
it's relaxing, but it's important too because I can meet other people.
You accompany the activities with other people.
Yeah.
You make it social.
Yeah.
You don't want to say I can making, or I don't know what you try to say, meeting maybe. I can meet.
I can meet
Yeah, I can meet other people.
other people.
Or I can combine these activities with social interaction. 1 minute. Are you waiting to say something to me? For what thing?
For infantil, to meet you.
Where are you going now? You're going to infantil now?
The Roblox thing.
What Roblox thing? Who was it? How was it him? Because you left it open somewhere in the...
Jesus.
Oh shit.
And I told him like 1,000 times.
Is that enough?
Can I have €3? Thank you.
Okay. Alright, tell me about it more another time. Okay, shut the door properly, please. Love you too. Okay, so we were talking about how you can combine it with social interaction. Yeah? More.
Es que tengo una palabra que no me sale. Oxigenar,
Oxygenate.
oxygen.
Eso es muy importante. ¿Ok? Eso es el motivo.
Yeah.
por hacer este tipo de actividad, este tipo de exploración, andar con la curiosidad, porque salen las palabras, sale el idioma, el lenguaje que no sabes traducir, pero no sabías que no lo supieras, ¿no? No sabías que no lo sabes, okay? So we have to do it. You have to do this by yourself, you have to do this with me, you have to do this with friends, okay? Oxigenar is super easy, it's a friend word, okay? Oxygenate.
Mind.
Yeah? It oxygenates your mind.
Yeah, and it's important.
Yeah.
Because it's important stay time with people.
To spend
To
time.
spend time.
To spend time with people.
To spend time with family, but time
Real time.
like
Real time.
real time.
Quality time.
Quality. Yo iba a decir de oro, tiempo de oro. No sabía.
Like quality time, como tiempo de calidad.
Yeah,
Quality time. With other people or with yourself?
with all.
With everyone.
Yeah.
With yourself and with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes myself, sometimes with other people, sometimes with my children. O sea,
Yeah.
it's important because.
But now you're talking specifically about walking? Are you talking specifically about walking? Yeah? Or are you talking about dancing and doing nothing? Yeah, all of those things.
Walking is activity.
Yeah, but it's one of those activities that you find easy to combine with quality social time.
Ay Dios.
¿Ya? Quiero decir que lo que estoy interpretando, que estás expresando que pasear puede ser bailar también y puede ser lo de hacer nada, son actividades que son muy fáciles de combinar con tiempo social de calidad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes with me.
Yeah.
Or myself.
Yeah.
Or sometimes with my family or my friend or.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends the moment.
That's an interesting observation. To me, that's an interesting observation, and it resonates with me as well. Because what we're talking about here is multitasking, no? Multitasking. Es como hacer más que de una cosa a la vez. ¿Ya?
Lo sé mejor en inglés que en español.
¿Ya? Creo que se usa en español, en inglés, ¿no? Como se dice el multitasking, ¿no? Es combinar actividades.
In English that we use when speaking in Spanish.
In Spanish. Hello. Yeah, so you're saying multitasking. You're talking, because one thing is spending time with friends or spending time with your family or spending time alone. And another thing is walking or dancing. They are different activities. But what you're talking about is something interesting where you find that these activities can be very harmonious. No, I have it too. I often go out for a walk with him because either sometimes my interest is that I want to be by myself or I want peace. So I put him in the pushchair and I walk. And so I'm enjoying the activity of walking, but it's not just because I want to move my body and I want to oxygenate my brain, it's because I want peace. But sometimes I walk with him, like with the, holding hands, and it's because I want to focus on him specifically without the distractions of things at home. No?
Sí, todo eso.
Okay, is it time? Yeah, it's time. Okay, but I want you to answer one, okay? The last one. Is there someone you greatly admire in this field? Because you talked about podcasts and you talked about talking to people who know a lot about. So do you have any references?
I don't think the word is admire.
You don't think?
The word is admire.
You don't think that admire is the correct word?
Yes, but I really like David Jimenez.
Okay.
That is, he was the ex-director of the diary El Mundo.
Yeah, the newspaper.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a podcast. And he
Interviewed or interviews?
entrevista.
He interviews.
Interviews some people who knows a lot
Who know.
about geopolitics.
Okay.
And in
Geopolitics.
geopolitics.
Geo. Geopolitics. Politics. Yeah, pero ahora quiero escuchar la terminación también. Geopolitics.
Joder, no.
Yes, you can. Okay, slowly.
Geopolitics.
Yeah, okay.
A ver.
Wait.
Geopolitics.
Politics.
Geopolitics.
Now just say politics.
Politics.
Yeah.
Madre mía, no voy a volver a hablar
Politics.
sobre esto.
Yeah, no, you have to
Politics.
because you love it, because you're passionate about it. So it's the exact word that you have to pronounce well, because then you can have the security and the confidence to talk about it when you need to without thinking, shit, I don't know how to say that word and I don't know how to pronounce that word. Geopolitics.
Geopolitics.
Good.
Se me ha nublado hasta la vista.
You have to practice that, okay? When you go home or at some point this week, you go into Google, you write the word and you listen to the pronunciation because there's Google
Okay.
Translate.
Yes.
Geopolitics.
Geopolitics.
Okay. Okay, it's done. You can go. Good. Don't be in a rush. Take your time with the things that you really like. Take your time, yeah? Talk about them deeply. ¿Tú habías pensado en por qué te gusta caminar?
Porque me da energía.
Pues mire, because it gives, because, ¿por qué? No? Because it gives me energy. Because it gives me energy. Yo resueno con eso porque a mí también me da energía el ejercicio. Te genera, ¿no?
Ahora voy.